The Kareeboomvloer massacre was a 2005 mass murder on the Kareeboomvloer farm in the Hardap region of Namibia, situated between Rehoboth and Kalkrand. It was the biggest bloodbath in Namibian criminal history. Massacre and subsequent arrests. On 5 March 2005, brothers Sylvester and Gavin Bukes killed 8 people at the Kareeboomvloer farm. The owners, an employee and his pregnant wife, 2 adult members of the employee's family, and 2 small children. All people present on the farm on the day of the crime were killed. The attackers first shot and killed the owners Justice and Elzabeth Erasmus and then executed all witnesses by first firing at them and then setting 5 of them alight with diesel fuel. 4 of the victims were still alive when they were set on fire. The Bukes brothers then stole the farm pickup car, loaded it with rifles and goats from the farm, and hid the loot at Stony Needle's house in Rehoboth and on his farm Areb, situated west of Rehoboth. Gavin Bukes, Sylvester Bukes and Stony Needle were arrested a few days after the massacre. Sylvester Bukes admitted guilt on all counts of murder, but 10 days after the murder claimed that the owner's son, Justice Christian Shorty Erasmus, gave the order to kill his parents, handed a weapon and ammunition to Sylvester, and promised an $50,000 payment, as well as legal representation. Erasmus denied these accusations but was also arrested. He and Needle were later released on bail, while the Bukes brothers remained in custody throughout the trial. The proceedings were conducted in the High Court in Windhoek and lasted for over 4 years. The 3 defendants were each represented by Windhoek defense lawyers, Sylvester Bukes by Titus Lipumbu of Titus Lipumbu Legal Practitioners, Gavin Bukes by Titus Mabeaver of Mabeaver and Associates, and Boris Isaacs of Isaacs and Benz Inc. represented Needle. According to testimonies, Sylvester Bukes killed all 8 people by himself, whereas his brother Gavin was a bystander who was, in his own words, at the wrong place at the wrong time. Sylvester Bukes claimed that he tied his brother Gavin to a pole so that he could only have heard, but not observed, the shooting. Forensic evidence showed, however, that Gavin Bukes was no further than 5 meters away when the victims were shot. Prior to sentencing, Acting Prison Commissioner Raphael Hamunyela was called as witness to explain how life sentences are administered in Namibia. All life sentences in Namibia can be set aside after as little as 10 years. And the nature and severity of the committed crimes are not factors weighed by the prison authorities in considerations of early release. Multiple life terms count as one. For the sentences in the Kareeboomvloer mass murder case, the deputy prosecutor therefore specifically asked not to impose a sentence of life imprisonment but to set definite periods. Judge President Petrus Damaseep followed the prosecution's request and handed out some of the longest prison terms in Namibian history. The Bukes brothers were sentenced to a combined total of 670 years in jail. Several concurrent sentences led to an effective prison term of 105 years for Sylvester Bukes, and 84 years for Gavin Bukes. Damaseep remarked about the case. "Why, our tortured your victims and committed crimes the likes of which I hope I will not, again, have the misfortune to preside over during the remainder of my judicial career. You truly are an embodiment of evil." The likely motive for the killings was revenge with respect to the farm owners, and doing away with witnesses. Justice Erasmus had previously fired Sylvester Bukes, and laid theft charges against him. Bukes emerged from the Kalkrand police station in December 2004, 3 months prior to the massacre, where he was in custody for the charges brought by Erasmus. The claim that Bukes was contracted by the farmer's son was dismissed by the judge as not proven beyond reasonable doubt. Sylvester Bukes' testimony contained a number of contradictions and unlikely claims, most prominently that Shorty Erasmus had offered to pay for his legal representation in the murder case, paying for the defense of his parents. murderer would inevitably have implicated him. Shorty Erasmus was thus acquitted of having contracted the murders. Stony Nidal was found guilty of theft and illegal possession of firearms and sentenced to an effective 6 years of imprisonment.